Hey, No Brains, No Headache listeners. You can find every episode on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Episodes are available to watch on YouTube, where you can subscribe, like, and comment on each episode. Make sure to follow No Brains, No Headache on your favorite social media platform for up-to-date news, clips, and poorly timed jokes. Now let's get into this week's episode.
No brains, no headache. That's the way I like it. Turn my worries into jokes. Set them on fire while we light it.
Episode 304, getting off to a hot start today on a Monday. What do we got today? June 22nd, 2026. Really coming down to it in June. The 4th of July quickly approaching, halfway done with 2026. Feels like it was just yesterday where I got drunk on my birthday on New Year's Eve. And now we're halfway through the year. And we're back for yet another recording of No Brains, No Headache podcast. I'm going to be your host today. Jordan Weichel is the name. I'm very angry today, and we have a dynamite show planned to see truly if I'm going to get more angry or less angry. And now we have a couple variables that we're going to throw in there because I got my trusty co-host, my confidant, my longtime friend, my fellow comedian. I've known this sandbagging son of a bitch since we were about 5, maybe 6 years old. 3 generations of our family, you could argue 4, hanging out together, coexisting. The Weichels and his name is Matt Cleary. I call him Ongo. The Weichels and Clearys existing in the present moment, right here, right now. No brains, no headache. Ongo, how we doing today?
I don't know. Eventually, it's got to come to a screeching halt where the families, much like the Capulets and the Montagues, we eventually break apart, or there's some sort of murder suicide that happens. So
I'm gonna go put my money on the ladder there. Do you think, and I don't want to disrespect your family nor mine, but do you think the Weichel Cleary connection is kind of
a problem?
In here, hold on. Hold on, let me get there. Do you think it's kind of like, how twins runs in the family, but it's like every other Jenny? Like our dads hung out, and you could argue they probably weren't the most upstanding citizens, but they've done wonderful things with their lives. And then there's me and you, where it's just ooh.
Skipped a generation.
Yeah. And then now we have the nephews hanging out. Do you feel like it's like that? And I don't want to say our grandparents weren't great because they were hard workers. So
I think eventually we'll figure it out, because the generation before us, one of my uncles and your dad were really good friends, and one of my uncles told me a story that what they would do for fun, and it just equated to drinking and driving. I was like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, we've since graduated to just
throwing fireworks out the window, and
yeah, that's always the best.
But we graduated to hard drugs.
Well, I'm glad that we're on that subject, because it's time for my opening monologue, which I don't know if you noticed in the notes. I did put 55 minutes. So
let me hit the can.
Just you might as well just head to the Biff. I'll shoot you a text when I'm done. But we're 304 episodes into this show. Okay, over 6 years. This is the longest job. This is the longest relationship I've ever had in my entire life. And every once in a while, and I'm not saying it got stagnant recently, I've been really enjoying probably one out of every 4 episodes.
One out of every 25 episodes.
Yeah, where I actually enjoy it and think it's quality entertainment. But every once in a while, you just got to shake things up a bit. And I feel like I've been in a rut lately. And, I know I moved across the country, and I'm not all alone, but I'm in a different environment. Okay. I have less people to rely on that are directly in my lives. I have a great family. I have great friends like yourself. We have a great network in No Brains, No Headache, but really I'm just kind of out on an island. So I'm just God, what do I do? How do how do I like figure this stuff out, which is life, and how do I enjoy it? Like, what do I need to do? How do I be productive? And all these different things. And sometimes you just got to go back to your roots, right? I mean, do you ever do that where it's just like, hey, you know what I haven't done in a long time? I'm gonna do that, and then you just have a grand time. You ever do that?
Yeah, it's usually when I get back into, heroin, but
Yeah. But like say you haven't played like a video game in a really long time, and then you like go play it, and you're like, wow, I'm really glad I did that. Is anything like that? Or hey,
I do.
I haven't had that chicken wrap from that particular restaurant in a while, and then you have it, and it's great. And you're like, God, I miss this.
Yeah, I do that with restaurants mainly, not so much my whole life.
Well, I had a case of the Mondays, you could argue. Everybody
Whole
knows
case.
anybody who was anywhere near me today was like, holy fuck, stay out of Jordan's way. I was having a day. I was getting frustrated. I'm tired. I'm worn down. I got a lot of things on my mind. And I said, hey, you know what? It's time we go back to the roots. So on the way home from work, I decided to make a little bit of a pit stop and picked up this bad boy. Now, for those of you scoring at home and you're not watching on YouTube, our preferred platform, please subscribe, by the way. That's a 12-pack of Modelo. I did actually already crack into it. So Matt and I are going to record for about the next, 60 to 90. We'll see how it goes. And I'm going to enjoy some beer, okay? And I don't want to hear it, okay? Because I judge myself constantly, okay? I'm constantly analyzing myself. And for once, I'm just going to drink some beer. I'm going to sit here. We're going to laugh. We're going to cry. I'm probably going to get angry at points. There's going to be a lot of emotion coming out of me. Matt, pretty emotionless. I actually do have something about that reminded me I need to add it to the rundown. I will. My bad. A lot going on. Cheers.
Yeah, you're fine to drink because I feel like your demeanor and voice doesn't change when you drink, whereas I like to say the word like a lot, and I'm also just like bah, bah, like in a lot of our past episodes, where I would just have, I don't know, 3 or 4 or 19 drinks and then just yell into the microphone. Thank you.
Yeah, I feel like it's been a while. Like we always record usually on Mondays. And I hope the loyal listeners out there realize like that's for their benefit. There's just too much going on Sundays, especially you get to football season. It's just tough for a guy like you and a gal like me to find the time to record. But so that's why we do Mondays. It's usually free.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot, like energy's always low. Like we're always just like in a bad mood, just like diarrhea all day.
Dude, you're telling me. We'll get into that later. I have so much diarrhea talk to come.
Oh, great. But you know what I mean? I figure we just go back to the roots here. And before I forget, I do have to add my thingy. I don't even know how to describe this. I'm just gonna go thingy. I'm just gonna put thingy.
Oh.
And I think I'll know what that means.
Yep. Did you watch Little Singles last week?
Yeah. Yep, I did.
Pretty unbelievable show, right?
So we gave ourselves homework. I watched the one thing I didn't have to watch, and the thing I was supposed to watch did not.
Yeah, you're not really missing anything. I think it will actually play better me describing Alaskan bush people to you because I just wrote like probably 30 points of what they did throughout the whole episode, and it's pretty dynamite.
Okay, yeah, Little Singles. I got to jog the memory. Did you have some notes on it? Because I
didn't really have any
the whole
notes.
thing.
It is basically Jersey Shore meets.
Dude, you're exactly right.
Love Island meets Little People, Big World. It is 5 little people, 2 dudes, 3 chicks.
Yeah. Okay, I looked it up, and because this is kind of important, because I did when they start introducing them. There's John, who's like kind of the lead guy. You'll start the show off with him. He's 28, known as the glue guy, and he's like in charge of the whole vacay. You have Stephanie, who's 31. She's a social butterfly. She kind of has a crush on John. Then you have Sammy. So now, right away, last week when you told me about it, I'm like, I'm gonna go with Sammy because of Sammy's sweetheart vibes. Turns out Sammy's a dude. So a little bit of a
Sammy also, he's like, I got in an ATV accident and I can't say ours now. And then you're like, what?
I would probably, yeah, if I couldn't say ours and then I got into an ATV accident, I would definitely blame that on the ATV accident.
Yeah, Sammy is just a wild card.
Yeah, he's 26, the youngest out of the crew. He's a party goer. He's getting himself into a real dick pickle, if you know what I mean.
It's the first like 20 minutes of the show, he has himself into a fierce love triangle.
Krista, very charismatic. I kind of like her the most. I feel
like
the
curly-haired brunette.
No. We'll get there. Krista's not Stephanie, not the blonde one. I don't know. She kind of
she's the one that like really likes JJ, but JJ's hitting on the other chick.
Sure. No, JJ's a chick. She likes Sammy.
Oh, yeah.
God damn it, Matt. You're fucking this up for all of our listeners. It's hard for them to pay attention to the show as is.
All little people look the same.
Okay, Krista, charismatic. She's pretty sweet. And then there's JJ. Krista's 30, by the way. JJ, who's 37. What I did notice about little people, and I hope this isn't a terrible thing, but like they don't age that much. Like I wouldn't have been able to tell. No, I would have had no idea. But JJ, she's a bold, fearless performer. She does like burlesque. She's done like a bunch of like dance. I feel like she's had some parts in like some music videos or something. She danced alongside like I don't Cardi B. I'm just gonna throw a name out there that don't quote me on that. But so she's pretty cool. So there's 2 dudes, 3 chicks, little people, meets Jersey Shore. It's in Palm Springs. Yeah, they just like I love how they had all this planning, and I get it. It would probably just be like a lot, but they're at this Airbnb made for normal sized people. Did you notice that? Because like the opening scene, they're like walking into the kitchen, the entryway, saying hi, and then the countertop is just like eye level, and it's
I feel like the show's not popular enough for them to like make an entire house that's just little person.
But yeah, it's just.
But it's funny that they do it in Palm Spring, where the median age is 58 years old. Where it's like,
that is true.
That just doesn't make any sense to me.
Also, did you notice that gigantic Suburban they gave John?
Yeah, he's like, I can't reach the pedals. Who wants to go to the liquor store? And you're like, hopefully not, you guys.
Yeah, he's like, all right, everybody, get in the car. We're going to the liquor store, and they're on their way to the liquor store. And he's like, oh, by the way, they didn't have the right pedal extensions.
He's like driving using a bunch of phone books duct taped to the pedals. You're like, okay.
He's got the broomstick.
Yeah.
But yeah, it could be really interesting. Spoiler alert coming at you. So Sammy, he is the youngest male. He and like Krista have this weird like makeout relationship. Like, were you getting that? Were you understanding that too?
Sammy has like a secret little. So Sammy, Steph, and John, they call each other like the 3 amigos.
Okay.
And John doesn't know that Steph and Sammy have secretly been hooking up with each other. And Steph really wants to have a relationship with Sammy, but Sammy likes Krista.
You just blew my tits off.
Yeah. So I don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, but Sammy and Krista, because she confronts him, and then she's like, when are you gonna tell them about
Steph confronts Sammy about it. And that's Steph and Sammy are crying outside of like the nightclub.
Am I fucking up Steph and Krista right now?
100%.
Let me get a picture of this. I can't tell what are their names. Oh, yeah, that's
dude. The best is when they're outside and Steph and Steph and Sammy are having like this like heart to heart where they're both crying, and then it pans inside and John is on the dance floor and someone just picks him up and starts swinging him around.
I will admit that did make me a little uncomfortable too. Like,
Yeah.
why would you, unless it's like your girlfriend, little person or not, or significant other, or like your bro or whatever, you shouldn't pick up human beings in public. You shouldn't just come up from behind them and be like, "Ugh."
Yeah. I've played lawn darts a time or two and just I mean, you say that, but you said you could throw a little person. So was it 25 yards?
75 feet.
Okay. That's insane. Another show I just started watching again, House of the Dragon is back. I know you watched Game of Thrones back in the day. So House of the Dragon is like a prequel to that. And first season was pretty good. Second season sucked something awful. And then the third season just came out and it did like the thing on Game of Thrones, you know, when
Game of
Thrones. Yeah, you finally start to like a character and you're like, this dude's a badass. And then the next scene just gets killed. That's where I am right now. It is very weird. The mom of one of the kids, they had a good old makeout sesh, which was pretty uncomfortable.
What? This is a new show?
Yeah, it's like a prequel to Game of Thrones.
But isn't it multiple seasons now?
Yeah, it's on the third season, and it is awesome.
You'd be so proud of me. I'm reading a news article while paying attention to you.
What changed?
Well, I actually can comprehend what you're saying, not just like, huh?
Yeah, but yeah, House of the Dragon, highly recommend it. Other than that, I really haven't been watching much. Before I was watching Alaskan Bush People today. I finished about half of G.I. Joe, The Rise of Cobra. So you could say my life's going pretty well.
The other day, I was taking a nap, right? And fell asleep watching a movie, as I've been known to do. And, you know, a new movie queued up, and I still was kind of asleep. And then this new movie starts playing, and I'm like kind of like hearing it, and I'm like half asleep, laying on the couch. And finally, I'm like, I've had enough of this shitty dialogue. What movie is this? Let me turn it off.
I like the movie.
It was Battleship.
Oh, dude, I watched Battleship Saturday morning.
Okay, here's you know what I did on Friday evening. I decided to follow a trend, if you will, which is unlike me. But I was looking for something to do, something, you know, different than what I have been doing. And so I decided to go to the movie theaters, get myself a chicken sandwich, and then go to Toy Story 5.
By yourself?
I did not go by myself, thank you. That was probably the only redeeming quality of the evening.
Yeah, I was like, if you went by yourself, there's a whole other set of problems.
I mean, I wasn't weirded out or paranoid, but you could probably get yourself pretty paranoid when you take a bunch of edibles and just get hee-hawed and dosey-doed and go to Toy Story 5 while you're sitting next to a 7-year-old thinking he's whispering about you the whole time.
Yeah, I feel like when they come out with these movies that have like such age ranges, like Toy Story came out when we were like 2. I feel like they should have showings that are like, hey, this is just for 18 and older, so it's not freaking just a million kids in there.
I mean, I knew what I was getting myself into, because funny enough, when Toy Story 3 came out, I was working out of town for a week, and I was like pretty much by myself there, so I had like, you know, all the time to kill in the evenings. So I went to Toy Story 3 by myself in the theaters when that came out. And yeah, just a little bit of a low point you could say. Okay, but Toy Story 5. I'm not gonna lie. It wasn't great.
There's no way it can be good.
It was just like we all know the premise is like, oh, tech, the iPad, the tech wave generation taking over. We all know that that's
Do
the
they
whole
bring up
plot.
Andy, who has like grandkids by now?
Yeah, Andy himself definitely didn't make any appearances. Maybe there was like a reference to a picture or him scribbling his name with permanent marker on the bottom side of the shoe. I don't know. You think
if they-
humans should do that, by the way? Like write their name on the bottom of their shoe just so they don't lose them?
Honestly, I should do that. I lose shoes all the time.
No, when I used to live in Bismarck, I would just throw some of your shoes away without telling you.
That makes sense. Like you would throw one shoe or both of them?
Yeah, I do both. I'm not a criminal,
I never even noticed. I just like assume I lose shoes all the time.
That's actually could be a good prank. Just start throwing your buddies just but one. Just throw one shoe away of your buddies and don't tell them, and then see how long it takes them. Anywho, Toy Story 5. Yeah, it just we got away from the Toy Story. It's more like Bonnie might have autism story. You know what I mean? Like, also, and I know this is a hot take, but this is No Brains, No Headache, 304 episodes. If you haven't gathered this yet, I think
Bo Peep is stacked.
Close. Pretty convinced Bonnie is gonna be a lesbian.
Could be.
And when you watch the movie, you'll be like, Jordan's ridiculous. And then you watch the movie, like, I think he's onto something here.
Yeah. When I know, I know.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know if it's really her as much as her new counterpart, who's really just giving off the possibly lesbian vibes. And hey, I get it. I'm jumping to conclusions here by saying that the child character in the animation movie Toy Story 5 could be a lesbian in the future. But when we look back in 15 years when they're on Toy Story 9, you're going to be telling yourself, Jordan told me so. Well, you mark my words.
What do you have about quarters?
Do you think Toy Story is going to get turned into the Fast and Furious franchise? I've already heard inklings of Toy Story 6. I'm done. I was good with 3. I was good with 1. 1 was fine for me.
What if there was a crossover between Toy Story and Fast and Furious?
Oh.
It's like,
I don't know.
Woody ends up in Japan drifting cars. Toy Story.
There's like drift. If you're listening right now and you go watch Toy Story 5 in the near future, pay attention to all the subliminal jokes. A lot of sexual jokes, like a ton of sexual jokes. A lot of shit jokes. There's a ton of shit jokes. And you think Jordan's making this up. He's just trying to get a laugh. I'm not. I'm telling the truth. A lot of poop jokes. State quarters need to be released in the state that they're from only.
I could get on board with that.
It makes them more exclusive. I found a Vermont the other day. I texted you immediately. You rejected me. You're like, hey, I already got that one. I was like, okay, I'll just go fuck myself then. I'm just trying to take an interest in my friend's hobby, and this is what I get. I was gonna mail it to you even.
Yeah, that's just I think
I got more in postage.
Yeah, it's like I lost 75 cents doing this.
Yeah, I think that the Vermont state quarter should be released only in Vermont, and then obviously the money can travel, but like how cool would it be if they had that and you are in Maine and all of a sudden one day you get a little quarter come across your desk and it's a California? That would be pretty sweet.
I think I already have California.
Yeah, but it wasn't released just exclusively in California.
Yeah, well, that's like when you get like the stamp on the back of a $1 bill when you're a kid, and you can go to like where's my dollarben.com and you look it up and
Find
you're like,
George or whatever.
yeah, and
Or
it's
where's
been
my
like,
Washington or something like that.
yeah, and like, oh, cool, this one's been 20 feet away from where I was, and that's it.
Oh, cool. A local hooker used this to snort cocaine through. How delightful. Let's see if there's any residue left.
Dude, do you remember? This is a core memory for me. Like in the 2nd grade,
The fact that I just brought up hookers and cocaine and then you're like, I got a core memory for you. Makes me nervous.
I got a couple things. So we went and grabbed all these white balloons and tied postcards to them and went out to the playground, and we each let go of a balloon at the same time. And it was pretty windy that day, and we just watched all the balloons fly directly into a tree row and get stuck. And like maybe 2 got free. And the thing was to send the postcards back. Thank you. And we got maybe 1 back that was from like Lincoln, which is essentially just Bismarck.
Wait. So, I'm remembering parts. I'll give you that. What did we do with the what was written on there?
It was just a postcard that said, "Please send back to the 4th grade class at Cathedral."
Oh yeah, the fugitive cleaning out the ditches of Lincoln, Nebraska.
Yeah. But I remember we
definitely stop and take time out of his day to send it back.
Yeah. Like we threw all the balloons we let off go at one time, and like the wind just took them into a tree row and they all got stuck. So like none of them made it out
Did
of the playground.
person living there with the tree send them back or no?
No, that guy I thought was gonna kill someone. Like if you kicked a ball over into his yard, it's like that's his ball now.
It was game over. Yeah, you're not getting that puppy back.
Should it put into Chat GPT, write me a plot of Toy Story / Fast and Furious crossover, and
Chat KGB.
Yeah, the phrase, "You don't need batteries, you've got family." Family isn't just built, it's played with. Apparently they come across a bunch of race cars and get into some underground.
I mean, I could see something there, like with Hot Wheels, perhaps.
Dude,
I could see a crossover.
So there's a character named Dominic V8 who's a race car driver, and Woody asks, "Since when do toys race?" And Dom says, "We don't race unless someone challenges family."
There's a snake in my 1999 Nissan Skyline GTR R34.
Oh God.
Reach for the Corona Extra.
Dude. So they finish the race at the end, and Woody goes, "Maybe racing isn't so bad." And Dom smiles and says, "It was never about racing." Cue Fast and the Furious.
Okay. Honestly, that would be a better ending than Toy Story 5, because my beef a little bit with Toy Story 5 was like the end all of a sudden was just there, and it was like I was wondering why I wasn't just bawling my eyes out.
Yeah. Like Toy Story 3, good luck getting through that with a dry eye.
Toy Story 3. That one is the daycare one?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Fucking Andy's a dick in that one, dude.
Yeah.
He's just trying to get high and smoke weed, and just like he throws his shit away. It's bullshit.
Call me a puddle of mud because I was crying.
All right. Let's move on from that comment. Where are we at here? What's happening? Okay.
Finish the sentence.
All right.
You know you are hungover when
you wake up in your own bed and you don't know where you are.
That's good. I was like, you're hungover when you don't know where your phone, wallet, or keys are.
You know you're hungover when you wake up on top of your bed sheets of like your made bed with all of your clothes on, including your shoes, but nothing in your pockets.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, so I got home last night and I decided to empty my pockets, but didn't take my clothes off. My telltale sign is when there's a trail of clothes from my front door to my bed, where it's like one shoe about 3 feet in, a few feet later, another shoe still tied. Like I barely fit my ankle out of them. Pants like by like the doorway, and then usually like shirt. I'm just butt naked sometimes. I'm either fully clothed or butt naked. There's like not much in between there.
Yeah, one time we were leaving a hotel room. We were just at this casino. And I was like, Brad, we got to go get dressed. And he's like, looks down and goes, I'm fully clothed. You know you're hungover when your body hurts.
I've always wondered that. I will get sore legs. My legs will get sore.
No, I think it's just blood's not moving down south.
Oh, there's blood moving down south. If you know what I mean.
You know you're hungover when you wake up and there's Cheez-Its all over your bed.
You know you're sober when you wake up and Cheez-Its all over your bed.
You know you woke up when you're covered in crumbs.
Yeah, somebody told me the other day that like one of their favorite snacks is saltines, and I was like, okay. Questionable, but I was like, how many are you just covered in crumbs all the time? Like, I
you're
get
hungover
behind the
when
saltines.
You know you're hungover when you think about just pissing the bed instead of getting up to go to the bathroom.
You know you're hungover when you don't think about pissing the bed and actually do. You know you're hungover when you have here's a good one. You know you're hungover when you just have a wad of crumpled up cash in your pocket and you started out the night with zero cash.
Yeah, that's a great one. And you probably took $120 out of the ATM and you have like $7 left. It just happens to all be in ones.
Well, it's also great when I've done this before, when you withdraw some money. Like say you take $100 out in cash, and then the next day you wake up with like $80. It's like, okay, why did I feel what was going on where I needed to withdraw all this money and I spent 20? I could have just
You know you're hungover when there's a bird scooter in your garage.
You know you're hungover when you don't know where your car is. Where you're like, is it? And then you have to peek out the window. Like,
oh, thank God.
Thank the Lord. You know you're hungover when you like come out of your bedroom and all of your lights are on.
Oh, that's a good one. You know you're hungover when you still have your contacts in from the night before is a big one for me.
You know you're hungover when you still have a condom on. You're like, and you wake up, there's no chick next to you. You're just like, what the fuck?
Your toaster's in your bed.
It's like, did I try to bang my air fryer last night? God damn it. I knew I shouldn't have got that thing.
I always like whenever I'm like, I'm hungover when like I wake up and there's no sheets on my bed and I have somehow taken off all the pillowcases.
You know you're hungover when you wake up with like a full glass of water and perhaps other drinks and then a bunch of uneaten snacks.
Yeah, because you're thinking like I'm gonna do myself a favor and I'm gonna drink this water before I go to bed, and then it's great in the morning though.
Yep.
You know you're hungover when your DoorDash is sitting outside your room from the night before.
You know you're hungover. Sorry, go ahead.
I was like, you do it so late and then you just fall asleep and then you got $90 worth of Buffalo Wild Wings just sitting outside.
Well, actually, our boy Birdie Mac, I guess I don't know if he's done it lately, but he did have a little bit of a streak there where he would order late night food. And then I lived by him at the time. And so he told me that once. And I told him, I was like, I should just drive by your house like when I know you're out but have already gone home. And then if I see just see McDonald's on the front step. It's like, well, I know he's got a Ring doorbell camera, but he is passed out.
Dude, he always buys too much food because when we were down in Arizona, every morning he would walk to McDonald's and get like 12 McGriddles. And then we would have 8 left over for the next day. And then he would go get like 12 more McGriddles.
Let me throw something by you really quick. How do you feel about like sausage, egg, and cheese sandwiches compared to the alternative?
Like, what do you mean? What's the alternative?
Well, in the case of the Golden Arches, what is it? Why am I blanking right now?
Biscuit?
What's the other? Go ahead.
McGriddle biscuits, croissants.
No, it's the one with the ham.
Ham, egg, and cheese.
Yeah, is that just ham, egg, and cheese?
Yeah,
That's not like no special name for that.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is instead of like the bacon, which is great, don't get me wrong, instead of the ham, or perhaps maybe there's like a place that has turkey, sausage, egg, and cheese.
Yeah, I'm a big sausage, egg, and cheese guy. So like, you don't have to convince me.
But it slaps. I feel like as a society, we're so traditional with the bacon, the ham. You know, you throw in the turkey, but then you have the sausage, egg, and cheese where it says, hey, I'm a good option. Not only am I delicious, but I'm also hearty.
See, I feel like you're speaking to this, but I feel like sausage, egg, and cheese is the most popular out of any of the. Yeah, I feel like that's.
Well, see, I'm anti-trend, so maybe that's where I'm at, because in my mind, sausage, egg, and cheese not as popular, but I've been kind of on a kick lately. Went to Starbucks the other day, got a sausage, egg, and cheese. I got a coffee, had to poop, went on a then I went on a 4.7 mile hike, clenched the whole time, saw a snake. I told about it last week on the podcast. Check it out, 303.
You know you're hungover when your poop is black.
You know you're hungover when your hands reek of cigarettes, but you don't have any cigarettes with you.
Or you know you're hungover when you wake up with a lighter in your pocket, but you don't know why.
You know you're hungover when you wake up with some very random person's business card.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, I'll totally get insurance from you. And like, who the fuck was that guy? All right, let's keep going so we can finish up housekeeping maybe before 40 minutes into the episode.
Hey, you know what? I'm kind of enjoying this.
Yeah,
you know what? Get a couple cervezas, as they call them. A couple Modelo Especials.
I am jealous of you, but I need to take a day off of drinking. I might actually die.
Well, it's funny we had the hangover little segment just now. I haven't been hungover in like 10 days.
Nice. Good for you.
And it'll come to a screeching halt tonight. Oh, okay. What else do we have here? What are we talking about?
Someone to hang out.
Oh yeah, I asked somebody to hang out the other day, and they said they were going to a funeral. And then you shouldn't laugh that hard at that. And they're like, "Oh, I gotta go to a funeral," and then it was classic me, and I was like, "So, is that a?" I'm a direct answer person, okay, and
answer me with yes or no. Don't give me an excuse.
Please. Yeah, I feel like over the time that I've gotten a lot of like yes men. People like just kind of tell me yes for no particular reason, but I would prefer to say yes or no. Are we getting away from the yes or no?
Yeah, we're soft.
Society. See, and that's what confuses me, because every day I'm always like meeting some. What are you laughing at?
I just thought of that job application we were looking at when it's like, if you can't handle stress, then don't apply, you pussy.
Was that the bartender position for a bar in Bismarck, North Dakota?
Show
that
up,
has closed down
paid,
3
leave.
times.
It's that it. And it's like, okay.
But like, I'm such a blunt person. And I feel like I'm just getting more and more blunt every day, just because like
you smoke a lot of blunts.
No, I actually don't. I don't really care for them. I mean, I will, I guess, but it's kind of like a dry red wine. It's like I guess I will, but not really,
If
choice number
if
one.
it's there.
Yeah, I mean, put it in front of me. We'll see what happens. But like, I feel like every day I'm just getting more and more blunt because I just don't care, and I feel like I feel like right now I'm almost in a fever, and eventually I'm gonna break that fever by not caring a single ounce. I think I care right now, and I think I care too much. I mean, Matt, you know me better than anyone. I'm a textbook overthinker, just overanalyzing things every day. But I feel like I'm just like, especially today, I just went through the goddamn dishwasher, washing machine, and dryer all at the same time somehow. Scientifically, don't know how that works, but all at once, 3 in 1. But I'm gonna break one of these days, but I'm not gonna break like Nad Raj.
Yeah, it's like
I'm gonna break where it's just like it's
I
like
don't know, bring a
Office
gun
Space.
to a shopping mall.
No, but it's like the movie Office Space where he gets hypnotized, but that's gonna be me breaking.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, wow, Jordan doesn't give a shit at all. But I keep being more and more blunt every day, and sometimes my bluntness is received as humor, and other times my bluntness is received as you're a fucking asshole, which I can totally understand. But it's just hard to like be like, hey, give it to me straight. Yes or no.
Yeah. The next thing you wrote down is monthly thingy, so I'm guessing
Oh, yeah.
you had your period finally.
Nice. See, I'm in no rush for housekeeping.
God, my
Matt,
head's fucking humongous. Look how few my fucking head. Look at that.
It's true. A harmonica should not have that much space on each side.
Yeah.
Watch on YouTube, guys. You'll know what we're talking about.
It has its own zip code.
Here, I gotta find this. Matt, we talked about this before the show where we said we feel as if the housekeeping items are almost taking over as the more important. Matt, quit covering your forehead.
It's essentially 2 shows. It's housekeeping where we just talk about whatever happened to us that week, and then it's the actual part of the show.
Minutes.
Yeah, and honestly, the things I wrote down for the actual part of the show are just sentences. There's no real elaboration on them.
So I have a good friend, also a listener of the show, and they sent this to me, and it's funny that it's like it's almost like a, what do you call those? Zodiac signs? Is that what the fuck they're called?
Horoscope?
Sure, yeah. It's like almost like a horoscope, but it's just like the month you were born and then all of your traits. And this person doesn't know you personally, but they listen to the show. And they showed me this, and they're like, okay, does this describe Matt? And they just started, because I think it just started with January. And they know that they've listened long enough where they know that you're born in January. And I'm like, okay, yeah, try me. So January toxic traits. I'm going to read these off. Feel free to say yes or no. Acts like they don't need anyone.
I don't need anyone.
Bottles things up.
Not true.
Struggles to admit their hurt. This cuts deep. Like, this is a deep cut right here. All of them, not just that one. Can be emotionally unavailable.
Can be.
Expects people to read their mind.
Yeah, I do that a lot, actually.
But then there's also redeeming traits. And this, Matt, will definitely, you'll love this. Extremely dependable. I'll answer these. Yes. Loyal to the core. Yes. Protects the people they love. Yes. Keeps their promises. Gotta go with yes. Strong when others need them most. I'll give that one a maybe.
Someone's like, I'm really down today. I'm like, oh, I gotta go.
I'm really down today. You know what? Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, well, it's only gonna get worse. Here's a shovel.
All right, so this is December. This is for me, right? We're literally born 5 days apart. Yeah. And this plays exactly into what I just said. Toxic traits, you ready? Blunt. I'll go with a yes. Restless. I'll also go with a yes. Avoids vulnerability.
Not so much.
I try, but can be reckless. Doesn't sound like me at all.
I'm gonna go on a 4-day camping trip by myself, and everyone just assumed you killed yourself. So
I was trying to fake my own death. Didn't really go well when I announced it on Instagram.
I just took a bunch of shits in the woods and came home.
There's toilet paper all over Campground 4. Gets bored quickly. I'll go with yes. So, Matt, I'll let you answer yes or no for these ones, for my redeeming traits, for the December people out there. Adventurous.
Mm-hmm.
Optimistic.
No.
Fun-loving.
50-50.
Encouraging.
No.
You got to think of me to other people, not me to myself.
Or you to me.
That doesn't count. Helps people see the brighter side of life. I think I'm a great advice giver. I am a god-awful advice taker, like my own advice. That's stupid. Who would say that? It's like, Jordan, you told me that 6 days ago when I was having a rough day. I was like, yeah, I mean.
I'd be like, Jordan, you should try just breathing. And you're like, fuck you. Just. All right. About that time.
First this episode? What the heck? All right, guys, that was housekeeping, which is the intro to the show. 47 minutes in, episode 3 of 4. We're having a blast.
Okay. Let's party.
I was going to try to do an on-air shotgunning of the beer. We'll see if we get there. Jelly Roll, famous singer-songwriter of the country music genre. Him and his wife are getting divorced.
I didn't see that one coming.
Who could have possibly seen that one coming?
You mean a recovering drug addict who lost 280 pounds? Who married a former hooker? Don't have a stable relationship? Weird.
Yeah, just like poor as hell. I know we get off subject a lot on this show, so just bear with me here. We're just going to back it up a touch. If you're doing hard drugs, how are you that obese? That's never made sense to me.
Yeah, I think it depends on the type of drug.
Okay, let's just go through an example of hard drugs, Matt. Just
yeah, I'm going through it in my head, and it's like none of it.
Okay,
makes
let me
sense.
say a hard drug and tell me if that person should be overeating or not. Ready? Crack.
No, the only thing you want to eat is crack.
Heroin.
That's maybe the skinniest of the drugs.
Methamphetamine.
Essentially the same thing as heroin.
And crack. Marijuana.
That might be the only one that you're just like, all right, I could eat 6 cheeseburgers right now.
Cocaine.
I feel like you're just going to run a mile.
Yeah, so I feel like if you're doing the hard drugs, I just listed 4. Out of all 4 of those, how are you in a caloric, whatever the opposite of deficit is?
Apparently, narcotics have just a ton of calories. I did look into this, and according to Google AI, that most of them suppress and alter metabolisms. However, they can have the opposite effect in some humans. So that would make sense.
Okay, so jelly holes, just a different
Yeah.
breed. Okay, but I saw this the other day, and Jelly Roll and his wife are getting divorced, and in the headline it said, "It is a private family matter." I was like, "Well, that's funny because I'm reading this on Facebook right now."
Also, Bunny just came out with an hour-long podcast about all of it.
Yeah, she just like very recently did. And correct me if I'm wrong, but they said they're going to go through with having a
Yeah, they're
child.
gonna have
together?
a kid together. Like she's not pregnant. They're still gonna go through IVF and have a kid together.
Do you think if you hit a point of obesity where it's not even worth it to lose all the weight just because of like the way your body is going to look and feel, that unless you can like do some very major expensive cosmetic procedures to get to a point like Jelly Roll, or as I formerly used to like call him, Smelly Hole, and I'm still probably gonna like stick with that for a while. You take the tarp off, and it's looking like a goddamn mudslide in Indonesia, if you know what I mean.
Kind of looks like Java the Hutt.
Well, you went with an easy reference. I was trying to get obscure with that one, but
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people that listen to the show or anyone in the world, other than the people that have family members that have died in said mudslide, know what a mudslide in Indonesia looks like.
that's the whole idea. And no, the two people, our mothers, don't care about Jelly Roll with his shirt off. Bunny X. If you have XO at the end of your name, who could have possibly seen this divorce coming?
I gotta be honest with you. I listened to her entire podcast today.
You did. Okay,
Yes.
run me through it. I'm glad I brought this up.
She basically just starts crying every 5 minutes, and then
Oh God.
and then at the end of it, she's like, "Single Bunny's gonna come out." Oh, thank you. She's like, "Single Bunny's gonna come out. I'm gonna get wild." And then she was like, "I'm also trying to get more into my faith." And it's like, okay.
Can't just be like, 3:10 wobbly H 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it's like, and she's in Nashville, so I'm assuming she's gonna be like Jason Aldean's bar, just getting bent over a stall.
Oh man. Publicly broke on June 15th. When celebrities like this get officially separated, it's like, okay, so you're living in the Nashville house and I'm living in the Miami house.
Also, you could probably both still live in the Nashville house and never see each other. You guys have 40 bedrooms.
Is it at a point where like Bunny's gonna do just fine for herself going forward?
Yeah, I mean, she has millions of followers, and like, I bet she makes six figures just on her podcast. And she'll write a book that will make her millions of dollars.
It would have been their 10th wedding anniversary.
Whoops.
They remain close friends.
Yeah.
Do you think the sex was bad?
I'm sure one of them not.
One of them was enjoying it thoroughly.
Yeah. One of them did all of the work.
Oh, that's rich.
And I'll give you the hint. It's the one that was a prostitute in her past life.
I'm just doing the cliff notes. They said there was no infidelity. Jelly Roll adamantly dispelled rumors at a Saratoga Springs concert. Okay, if there's rumors at a very specific concert.
No, they're saying that he announced it at that concert, I feel like.
Oh.
But I mean, Jelly Roll did cheat on her like 5 or 6 years ago, and they had an open relationship. So
I'm kind of regretting bringing this up now.
Yeah, it's pretty dumb. I mean, well, if you got a 30-second break for my next topic, I don't think eggplant Parmesan should exist.
No, I agree with you 100,000%.
Just be chicken Parmesan.
The eggplant bothers me.
Yeah.
Just like a bit. Yeah, give me some protein, give me some death.
Or like, don't make like, it's like instead of making like brownies, they're like, instead of using brownie mix, so use ground up zucchinis. And I'm like, thank you. And I just dump the whole tray in the garbage.
You do the Midwest plate upside down in the garbage so they don't see it. See the food that you didn't eat.
Yeah.
We've all been there. Yeah, eggplant. I would be okay with just never hearing, seeing, touching, feeling, tasting anything related to eggplant again.
Yeah.
It's like the American bison is going extinct, and you know what should be going extinct is eggplant.
Dude, did you know like when they would take trains across the Dakotas back in the day, there was so many buffalo that guys would just sit on the back of trains and shoot them and just leave them there.
Just an abundance of the bison.
Yeah.
I believe it's bison in North America, buffalo in Africa, but
I say buffalo, so I don't say bison or bison. Or there you go.
I've been on the bison train. I had to explain to somebody the other day the difference between NDSU and UND, and they were not understanding.
Okay, they're different higher educational institutions for one.
They're going strictly off the sports programs because I was like, no, yeah, I went to UND, not NDSU. And then I was like, yeah, they had a really good hockey program. They won the national championship while I was there. Hindsight, I just don't think they were paying attention to anything I was saying, which kind of makes sense now. But I was like, yeah, the football team was like kind of shit and whatever. And they're like, what do you mean? The football team was a powerhouse. And I was like, they made the playoffs like twice in the last like 5 years.
Yeah, they went 7-5 and thought they got snubbed from the AA playoffs. So
Buc-ees opened in Arizona.
how close to you is it?
No, nowhere near.
Oh, it's like in Tucson.
No, I believe it's in Goodyear.
Oh, that is way west.
Let's see. It's 31 miles away from me. It's 6:45 p.m. local time. So traffic really shouldn't be much of an issue. Oh, that's where Goodyear is? I have no idea where it was.
It's like the farthest west you can be in the Phoenix metro.
44 minutes away.
Honestly, it's probably worth it for like just a fun trip.
They had a guy in line at 4:45 p.m. yesterday evening.
Yeah, well, that guy deserves to be shot in the head.
Now, let me ask you, Matt, why would anyone in their right mind camp outside of Buc-ees in Goodyear, Arizona for their grand opening?
I don't know.
Is the brisket that good?
No, it's just a novelty of like you can get a Buc-ees hat or like a Buc-ees bathing suit. I
saw something on buy and sell Gilbert, Arizona already from Buc-ees. Like they're just going to buy shit from Buc-ees and then just selling it.
Yeah, it's going to be an epidemic of it. We went one time when I was in Austin, and then the next day they're like, "We're gonna head to Buc-ees again. You coming?" I was like, "Fuck no."
Again?
Yeah.
What's the need for the second trip to Buc-ees?
I don't know. Buc-ees is really cool, but yeah.
So you've been to
Wait, I didn't even go to Buc-ees in Austin. I think I went to the one in Colorado.
I don't shit know your life. Tell me about it.
I don't know. It was a while ago.
Where did you go?
Is there one in Colorado?
I don't know, Matt. I don't even know where Goodyear was until just 45 seconds ago. But the Buc-ees, it's like, oh, they have a jerky wall. It's like, cool. You can buy overpriced jerky literally anywhere.
Yeah. I don't get standing in line. Like, I don't think there's much I would stand in line for. Especially like if you're going to that Buc-ees, I'm assuming you drove a good distance to get there in the Phoenix Metro, and you probably drove by like 65 gas stations.
The only time that I can remember in recent memory of me standing in line, it was in 2016, April, where UND, my alma mater, the hockey school, not the football school, was in the national championship. So we waited outside of the bar for like, I don't know, a half hour maybe, just to get a good spot. Other than that, I don't see any reason to stand outside of Buc-ees. Do you know it's well over 100 degrees every day?
Yeah. Your
4:45 p.m. yesterday, that's the hottest point of the day.
Yeah, your shoes are going to be melted to the sidewalk by the time you move.
And what are you buying?
Honestly, probably like a hat and some like
man, my face is getting a lot of sun. Now I could use a hat since I'm gonna pile in my car and drive away from Buc-ees now.
Or they have these things called like beaver nuggets or something, and it's just caramel popcorn.
Is that what those are?
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, so there's a Buc-ees.
Yeah.
45 minutes away from my current location.
Yeah. So I found the most interesting man in the world this week. His name is Victor Marx, and he's running for governor of Colorado, and he is a crazy person.
A name like Victor Marx is not great for politics. I'm just going to go ahead and say it.
Well, he's running
spell it M-A-R-X?
Yes, he's running on the Republican ticket, and he's like a pastor that opened up a string of Christian karate schools.
Honestly, his name might as well just be Jeffrey Holocaust at this point.
What's your name? Ted Hitler?
Leatherface 9/11.
Dude, but he goes on and he'll just say some like outlandish stuff. Like his
name's Victor Marx, so this guy has been wired wrong from day one.
So he said that when he was 7 years old, his dad made him kill a guy.
We can't even back up. Let's stay right where we're at. What?
Yeah, he said when he was 7 years old, his stepfather forced him to kill a man in Mississippi. And then he said that he reported it to the FBI at the time and local law enforcement, but neither agency has any record of anything happening.
And was this during a political debate of some sort or some sort of forum?
Yeah.
That's really bold to admit to murder while running for public office.
And then in the same interview, they asked, so how many people have you killed? And he said, does it really matter? Yes.
That is a bold response to that question.
Yeah. He also claimed that he called in a U.S. military airstrike as a civilian.
I mean, how's this guy doing in the polls?
He's gonna win the Republican primary.
Oh, the Republican primary. Then he's got to go against the other.
Then he's got to go against like the actual politicians that will just. And then he claims that he's rescued over 45,000 women and children from abusive situations.
Hold on. So, Victor Marx admits to murder. Says, what does it matter how many people I've killed? And then claims that he's saved how many people?
45,000.
That's like one a day that's like several a day for his lifetime.
Yeah, it equates to like 5 a day since his 18th birthday.
What do we have any information on, like,
No,
what he's
basically,
running on? Is he like, we need a Buc-ees here?
yeah, he's like third Buc-ees in Colorado. Everyone's like, yeah.
I killed someone. They're like, what? And he's like, Buc-ees opening soon. They're like, yeah, beaver nuggets.
We need more Quiznos per capita. But during a debate, the moderator just went on a tear, just totally ripping this guy apart. And then his answer to the moderator just dunking on him was like, are you calling my dog a liar too? Because Reagan, my dog, was in Syria. I'm like, what?
First of all, doesn't sound like a very good moderator when they're just taking out personal bias against one of them.
No,
Hey, you're gonna be our moderator.
At the same point, though, like all the candidates are very weird. So, like, one tried to succeed from the United States.
I think it's secede.
Yeah, whatever. She was gonna succeed in succeeding.
She's gonna succeed in seceding.
Yeah. And then another guy, his claim to the race is that he is endorsed by some like neo-Nazi. And they asked him if he would have a place in his cabinet if he was elected governor. And his response was, if he's not around Jewish people, then yeah, probably.
Does this person have a place in your cabinet? And he's like, no, I only keep whiskey in there.
It's just, yeah, it's a tough one out there.
Where do you find this stuff? Is this Yahoo News?
Nah, I'm on TikTok.
Ooh. It's rough.
Yeah.
TikTok. Follow us. Follow No Brains, No Headache on the old TikTok machine.
Closing in on 8,000 followers on TikTok.
Whoa. So like I said, I went to Toy Story 5, went to the movie theater. We don't have this in Bismarck, North Dakota. Perhaps even the entire state. I could be wrong. Don't want to speak for other places. Don't know what they have for their theater selection and amenities. But I got a couple of beers at the movie theater, so I was like, okay. And I felt weird, like kind of, because I never really drank openly at a movie theater. Usually you're like concealing it, and you and your buddies in college go to American Sniper, and you bring in glass long neck bottles, and then your buddy has to go to the bathroom, and then he knocks over the 4 empties, and then the entire corner of the theater reeks of Fireball, and then you and your buddies tell each other, you make a blood oath that you're going to join the military the next day, and then you wake up. You know you're hungover when you wake up and you and your friends made a blood oath to join the military after watching American Sniper the night prior.
Guilty.
But I was thinking of obscure places to drink. Got any off the top of your head?
In college, sometimes I'd take mixers to class.
Just like in a water bottle, a little Gatorade water bottle, give it the squeeze.
Yeah. Obscure places.
I think that's why like drinking on a party bus is fun, because it's just like
a moving car.
How often are you on like a large moving, road vessel?
Yeah, I sitting in the back of a limo, just hogging down some White Claws.
Well, I was thinking of that. Funerals.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh man, that funeral ruled. That funeral was sick.
That was the funeral yesterday. I'm so hungover.
But also, could that be why ice fishing is so much fun?
Yeah, I would say like ice fishing, they go down quick.
How many times have you been ice fishing, would you guesstimate?
3.
And then each time you went ice fishing, did you pretty much get set up, like drill the holes, you have everything you need, but then like you set up your shelter tent or whatever, and then you like don't even put lines down the hole, you just like start drinking beer?
Yeah, one time I went and I didn't even bring a rod. I just went and drank beer and then cooked brats on a heater.
It's like, did we just drive out to the middle of a lake in the middle of winter with 3 feet of ice below us just to drink beer? We could have done this at the local bar.
Yeah, it's I would say out on a boat is maybe the most ideal drinking spot, because the other day I was super hungover and we are gonna take the boat out, and I was like, cool, yeah, this will get me going, moving around. We get out on the water and I'm like, I suppose I can knock back a couple.
You can still hear me, right? I
Yeah.
feel like okay. Thought I unplugged my stuff really quick by accident. Yeah, drinking on the water is interesting for sure. You ever had an open beer and you jump into like the lake with that beer and it very clearly just gets like lake water in it? Like you try to hold it up, but it doesn't work. Then you just keep drinking it. Then you have dysentery the next day.
I found out the hard way that twisted teas don't float.
They don't.
No.
Would
So
you toss one? And
yeah, I tossed one to my sister and then just watched it sink down to the bottom. So I can tell you pretty confidently that there's at least 3 twisted teas at the bottom of Deer Lake, Wisconsin.
I guess with the no carbonation.
Yeah.
Is that
like
what
it makes sense when you think about it, but most of the time I'd be like, throw me a beer, and you just launch it into the water without any really wherewithal of where it's gonna be.
Or like ask somebody to throw you something and it's just like 20 feet over like the other direction. You're like,
yeah, just
what kind of throw? You know what? I'm gonna walk over and grab what I need.
Or the classic when you're on a boat and you're like, oh, you know this pool noodle that has been in the lake soaking up water for the last 2 hours? Let's shotgun a beer through it. And you're just drinking lake water at that point.
You need a water filtration system.
Yeah.
Obscure places to drink. That's all I got.
Okay. I gotta run you through episode 7, season 2 of Alaskan Bush People.
All right. Hope the listeners did their homework because I didn't.
Even if you didn't, this might be the best because I'm just going to give you a play-by-play of what happened throughout the episode and my little comments on it. The episode starts out by them digging the foundation for the pilings of their house, and instead of actually leveling it, they just have one of the siblings eyeball it. And you can clearly see that it's crooked as shit.
All right. So it said season 2, episode 7, correct?
Yep.
So from the beginning of Alaskan Bush People, what house are they on at this point, including the one they got kicked out of?
Yeah, they're not on that one. They're not on the one where they thought they were getting shot at. Then they were on a boat that sunk. And then now they're on Ketchikan Island in the process of building a house.
So we're on our 4th house and we're a season and a half in.
Yeah, they're not great.
And what's the name of the family again?
The Browns.
Did the Browns ever think, hey, maybe it's us?
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
maybe like it's our issue.
Yeah. And then it pans to Noah writing letters to his girlfriend in town, to which I wonder why he's doing that, because he has no way of actually mailing them other than going to town.
He was doing what to mail?
He was writing letters to his girlfriend in town, but he has to go to said town to the post office to mail them.
And then how did he meet the girlfriend in the first place?
I don't really know. Or a pen pal situation or something.
If you were to name a dating app for people who live out in the bush, what would it be?
Bushed.
Yeah. I was gonna stick with Bush too.
Or Got Bush.
Do you think we should start a dating app that's just called Bush? And not only do you have to live in the bush, but perhaps provide evidence that you also have.
Yeah. It's just your profile picture is just your bush. Next, a guy is rowing his boat to them. They have a visitor, and apparently it's the mayor of the closest town to them, Hoona. And they barter with the mayor for windows, and Billy says he'll send his kids to chop wood for the windows.
Dude, Billy loves just
Slavering his kids.
Yeah. He just pieces out. Every time Billy gets into a tough situation, he's like, well, I got 4 inbred sons that are they got superhuman strength. Can't read a whole lot, but
so then it goes to all the kids are going to town and the boys are excited, so they're getting ready, and they're using a combination of cedar wood and pine needles for cologne.
Cedar smells terrible.
And then it pans
Cedar smells like the snake exhibit at the zoo.
Then it pans over to Bear, who's using an elk horn to comb his hair.
Can I back up really quick to the mayor coming out on a fucking canoe or whatever? Do you think perhaps by chance that the producers of the show bartered with the mayor to go out there with hard American cash?
Yeah, he's like, here's $1,500. There's this retarded family 40 clicks north.
They're on their 4th house in as many months. The last house they left was a boat, and the one prior to that, they thought they were getting shot at.
They cut all this wood. I'll get more into it later, but then they get like 2 windows for their entire house. The kids take the boat, their singular boat, to town by themselves, and they start a "We want pizza" chant. Then while docking the boat, they're all yelling at each other, and Bam rams the boat into the dock. Oh, thank you.
Is that because he was distracted by the chants? Perhaps
they were like, "You gotta go slower in." He's like, "I know," and then just.
That's what I love about the Brown brothers. Is like, you know, they have the little like side interviews, and they're just talking trash, and they're like, yeah, Bam doesn't know what he's doing. He gets hot-headed sometimes, and like they're coming in hot to the dock.
Yeah,
they're like, "You need to slow down." He's like, "I'll slow down when I want to slow down." And just Forrest Gump's his shrimp boat into a dock.
It's pretty much what they did. They just broke the dock.
It's like Matt that one time when he was on somebody's jet ski and just took it up onto the rocks, or the rip rap, if you will.
Well, I was down at a restaurant on the river, and I hear this loud thud, and someone had just rammed into the dock. They get off the boat. Noah goes to the post office to mail his letter to his girlfriend that lives in town. And he's also wearing a top hat and a cane.
For how poor and like minimalistic they are, they definitely have a lot of accessories for mid-century modern.
Yeah. Gabe and Bam go to chop wood, and they're doing it by hand, and it's kind of like given the impression that they're chopping all this wood by hand, but in the background you can clearly see a log splitter. And then at there's one point where it does like a cutaway of them chopping wood, and it just shows Bam using a chainsaw. So I was like, okay. And then Matt and Noah go to the dump to look for supplies. And they
never a great start when you're going to the dump to look for supplies.
And Kenny, the manager of the dump, is definitely on drugs.
No. You're telling me the dump manager in Alaska, in remote Alaska, is on drugs?
They're taking an old barrel and a bicycle and some like steel cable from the dump.
Was that the one where he grabs it to make a dryer?
No, different one.
Different episode.
Yeah.
How expensive do you think hard drugs are in Alaska?
It has to be outrageous, I would think.
Like their inflation's one thing, but hard drug prices in remote Alaska
is
I can't imagine
another thing. They go get pizza in town, and it is
that where the chant starts?
Yeah. Well, it's at one point when Bear's getting interviewed when they're going to town, he's like, "There's 3 reasons I go to town. 1, girls, 2, sharp knives, and 3, pizza."
No, it sounds like a sweep.
Yeah. But they go get pizza, and then they do like a montage of them just eating pizza, and they're all just moaning while eating pizza. Like they take a bite and they're like, "No."
Matt, you gotta realize that these people are eating fucking dirt and pine needles every day.
Yeah, and then it like pans to people like watching them, and then like one of them in an interview is like, yeah, whenever we go out in public, people just watch us, and it's like, you guys are moaning while eating pizza.
You're wearing a top hat and a cane with all 1990s military grade uniform.
Yeah,
people are gonna look.
Bear immediately takes his food over to another table and sits down, and it's like, I eat with my family all the time. Mind if I join you, ladies? And it's 3 chicks. And then his opening line is, so anyone here like to climb trees?
I gotta use that one.
And then a couple of the other brothers come over. Matt comes over to join the conversation, and he's just bleeding from his head. And he steals a nacho off one of the girls' plates and then walks away.
Did he say a word?
He said something like my name's Matt, something. And then as he's leaving the restaurant, he goes, call me. And one of the brothers goes, we don't have a phone.
Yeah, I will say the stealing of the nacho and walking away could be a power move, but given the context and the bleeding of the forehead and the lack of telephone communication technology, not the context I'm referring to.
They get back to the boat, and it immediately doesn't start, and everyone starts screaming at each other again. And Noah likes to wear a life jacket that he duct taped across to the back of it.
What kind of life jacket is this?
Is he just has a life jacket, but then he just used duct tape to make a cross on the back of it?
To signify what?
God.
These people believe in God?
Yes. They all have like Jesus tattoos and stuff.
How can they afford tattoos?
I don't know.
And it sounds like there's a fourth thing that they go to town for. It's girls, sharp knives, pizza, and tattoos. Because I don't want Billy tatting me, out in the bush. It's like, what if all the supplies they had was like essential, and then Billy's like, yeah, I brought my tattoo gun. Like, of all the supplies you brought, like a jug of water, like a flint striker, or like a hatchet would be like understandable, but he just has a tattoo gun.
Yeah. They get back to the island, and Bear describes to everyone that his idea of a good date is running an obstacle course. And everyone immediately thinks it's a bad idea.
I know of an obstacle course he would probably like from our hometown. Is that thing still going, or do they bankrupt yet?
Immediately bankrupt, I think.
Nice.
The girls from the pizza place arrive on a canoe.
No.
And
how much are these producers doling out to these people to be like, hey, go to this remote island?
Yeah,
they all smell like fucking pine needles and BO.
I'm guessing that each one of them got a cool $5,000 to do this.
I would be up in the price.
And they find out that they're rowing up to shore, and Gabe immediately asks if he smells. And then Bam starts doing push-ups, and Matt is frantically looking for his toothbrush. And then it's the most awkward 10 minutes in TV history while they show them around the property. They walk back into the woods, and Matt's like, here's a little lagoon we have, and it's just like a puddle of rainwater. And then Bear decides that he's going to climb a tree. And then at one point, there's like 7 people climbing this tree.
The girls did climb as well.
Like 2 of them did, I think. Yeah. And then they go to shoot guns, and one of the girls like brought my own, and it's just this huge fucking Magnum. And then at one point, Bam is reciting a poem to one of the girls. And then Bear makes all of them run an obstacle course that he made.
All right, so they're built. Let me make sure I'm getting this correct. So they're in the midst of building a cabin, and Homeboy decides, you know what needs to take priority right now? I got these chicks. You could essentially call them like prostitutes because they were paid to go out there. let's build them an obstacle course instead of focusing on like the fourth house in a season and a half of television. Am I understanding that correctly?
Yeah, and it's like a bunch of stumps that you run on, and then you have to like army crawl in mud under a bunch of rope, run off a stump, swing on a rope, and then like come back or something. It's very dumb, but it pans to Billy, who has a sheet of paper where he says he's drawing up plans for their house. And on the sheet of paper is just a single square.
Well, that's how all good plans start.
Then it pans back to the obstacle course, and everyone is doing jumping jacks. And then Bear's being interviewed and says that these girls aren't extreme enough for him. And then Matt's
stick to your standard.
Yeah, and then Matt's getting interviewed and says that him and Bam have the same type of girl that's their preference. And then he says, one with a pulse.
That's not great. I don't know if I would say that on television. I'd say that off of television, but I wouldn't say it on.
And then the episode ends of Matt and Noah building a stove out of a lead-based paint barrel. And Amy gets cancer 1 year later. So, I mean, I don't want to say it was from that, but there's all signs are pointing.
You know, and I apologize for having to do my homework, but appreciate the rundown there. I think it almost worked out better for the sake of the show.
Yeah.
But Alaskan bush people makes me feel a lot better about myself.
Oh, 100%. Especially if you look up what they're doing now. It's like one of them, greasy divorce. Second one, ex-wife's a lesbian. He just has to move around the country with her and her new girlfriend. Third one's dead. Fourth one, kind of normal. Fifth one is a tattoo apprentice now.
Sixth one, Billy had the tattoo gun.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Did Billy the dad die?
Yeah.
And then is the mom still around? And also, actually, I'm gonna go back to Billy. Do you think there was much inheritance there or no?
No chance. It's like
they're like, actually, you owe.
Yeah, it's pretty. Did Billy have life insurance? It's like, no, he couldn't spell insurance
or life.
He thought there was 2 Y's in life, so we said he wasn't a good candidate.
Didn't quite get approved for the policy.
And like, if you look into it, like Billy definitely like groomed Amy. She was like a 15-year-old when he was like 24. And like he like stole her in Texas and they moved to Alaska.
It's fucked up.
Yeah. Also, Billy's like his parents were like a prominent like attorney family in Texas, and they all died in a plane crash.
No.
Yeah.
Well, that's brutal. But also, that's our Alaskan Bush People season 2, episode 7 rundown. So I appreciate everyone being with us. For the record, I've made it to 5 beers. So it feels good to be back. And you know that saying, I wish I knew I was in the good old days before they left or whatever?
Yeah, you totally nailed that.
Yeah. I feel like I'm back in the good old days. You know, a couple cervezas, get the blood flowing.
Well, if I don't feel like a bag of shit next Monday, which I probably will, maybe I'll have some beers.
Yeah, we'll see. We're kind of up in the air whether we'll have an episode next week or not. 4th of July coming up. We want all of y'all to go enjoy that, but more than likely, if not, hey, don't take it personally. We'll be back, but that's all we got. Follow us on social media at No Brains No Headache. Make sure you're subscribing wherever you're listening or watching. Tell your friends, family. We would appreciate it. And hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Up next, we have episode 305.